Hello everybody, my name is Darkmoon Doll, and today this is Spirituality Talk. Spirituality Talk is a show that I like to host on Thursdays, not every Thursday, but on Thursdays, where I share with you my spiritual experiences on this life's path thus far. I want to start off by burning my smudge stick first. I like to cleanse the area so I can have clear communication with with my higher self and be able to bring forth information that'll help you today. I was selling two of my smudge sticks on Etsy shop, but they didn't sell, so look, I'm using it now. So that's cool. The smudge sticks, what they do is, for years, people have been using herbs to cleanse their environment and to keep away negative energy. That is my perception of the purpose of these smudge sticks. So when you're burning them, think of like really good thoughts. Think of what you want to remain within that space. Yeah. And it smells nice too. Rosemary and lavender. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about witches. There's a lot of negativity towards witches. There's, I think, for centuries, of course, everybody thinks back to the burning times and the story of the Crucible, which I saw the movie with Daniel Day-Lewis and read the book. I like the book, of course, better than the movie. That's always how it is. But they're still being persecuted to this day. I mean, it just feels like it's a conspiracy to hold back information and knowledge about people's true gifts. I know that some people out there that are watching now know that there's more than meets the eye to themselves or to the human body and what we're capable of doing. And I'm talking about psychic abilities like telepathy, and telepathy can be very small little things that you take for granted, like knowing who's going to call before someone, before you answer the phone, knowing who's going to be at the door before you even open the door. I mean, that happened to me once with my mom. My mom was living in Chicago, and I was in California living with my mother. I mean, with my sister. And I heard a knock on the door, and all of a sudden, flashed in my face was my mom. Now, it seemed unlikely that that would happen, because like she was a bag lady on the streets in East Chicago Heights the last time I saw her. So I didn't think she would even appear at my doorstep or at my sister's living. So yeah, that really shocked me, and that I knew that it was her. I didn't even see her, I just heard the knock on the door, and I just knew. So, a lot of witches were persecuted for having this kind of insight. A lot of people, just in general, that didn't consider themselves witches were called a witch. From my basic knowledge of what a witch is, it's just like a wise one. That's all it is. It's a wise one. And I feel like they've accrued a lot of this knowledge just by first-hand practice. Like, I have a friend, Yvette Smith, Mamba Lorena. It's like you can read all the books you want about voodoo, but if you're not actually practicing it in a group of people and learning it, then it means nothing. Well, not it means nothing, but it's just even more better, I guess, is saying to have a community, someone teaching you, spreading the knowledge of the old ways. So, yeah. So back to what I was talking about witches. They're basically what they are wise ones. I didn't belong to a coven, but I've gone to, like, there was a friend I had years back. She's really sweet. Still a friend of mine, but she moved away. She invited me to this Samhain, celebration. So I went to it. And it was the first time I went to anything like that. It was nice. Basically, all it was doing is celebrating the season. Saying thank you to the gods and goddesses out there that associate it with this season. I mean, no malevolent, I can't say that word, no malevolent spirits or deities welcome. Just those that are in the best interest of, us, of what we're trying to do here on Earth. So for me, what I took that as being, the witches are really connected to Earth, and they're concerned about nature and the welfare of this planet. So that was my perspective I got. And then later on down the line, I enjoyed going to that event, and I also enjoyed, after that, she invited me to this women's mystery meetup. And it was really cool because I learned about all these different goddesses that I never knew about, that I never really sought out information about. It was fascinating, their attributes and what they tried to do. Whether you believe in gods and goddesses or not, if you look at them in a symbolic way, it has great meaning. They have great meaning, in my opinion. But yeah, I think that the witches have been persecuted a lot. And the thing is that if one witch does something really evil or just very malicious or something like that, then everybody thinks all witches are like that. It's kind of like with black people, with African Americans, how they get singled out, how they get, racially profiled just walking down the street, just being themselves. Not all the time are witches that visible, because they don't walk around with conical hats and, and pentagram necklaces, which isn't bad to me, but not all witches walk around and wear stuff to identify themselves as being a witch. What I've read through the past and literature I have, and other witches that have been practicing for many years, there are some witches that are just considered natural witches, where they prefer to practice solitary, and just tune into their own energies and not have a collective energy around them. And I learned more about that through this book that I read by Constantinos. I don't have my books right now, but Constantinos. And he talked about, I was really fascinated by how he talked about connecting to the night and the energies of the night. That the energies of the night are different than the energies of the daytime. And I found that very fascinating, because I could really relate to that. How it's so busy, there's always stuff going on during the daytime. It seems like a lot more stress is going on energy-wise in the world, at least in my perspective and where I'm located. It may be different where you're located at. And at nighttime, it just seems like the energy shifts into a whole nother vibration. And for a while, I was sitting outside at night and just had a candle out and meditating, a black candle to symbolize the night, and a crystal, a quartz crystal, and I just kind of just meditated. And what happened was, I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. I had this hummingbird just showed up. It just was like right by my ear, buzzing by my ear. I didn't know what it was, because where I lived before, there weren't a lot of hummingbirds, so I opened my eyes, and this was nighttime, and the hummingbird was right there by my ear. And you would think that if I opened my eyes and moved, it would jet off. I opened my eyes and slowly moved, turned my head to the right, and I saw it, and it was just sitting there, just buzzing, looking at me. So I guess maybe I was in such a relaxed state of mind, because pretty much as solitary practitioner is basically just me tuning in to my higher self and being able to answer questions that I don't have the answer for readily, and tuning into nature. It seems to be the best form of healing for me, and the best way of knowing which step to take next if I'm confused. So I've also went to they were actual coven, and I went to a witches meetup, and we met up, and I felt like I'd known these people before, and they welcomed me, with open arms, and we started just singing this song, and I felt like I knew this song. And it was a sweet song. I can't remember the song, okay? I don't know the words of it, but it was a really nice song, and it was all harmonized with all these different people with the same intent, same energy, and we're out in nature, and it was beautiful. You know, it was a connection with nature and a connection with other people. You know, I looked totally different than everybody else, but that didn't really matter. You know, I was dark in complexion, and all these people were of European ancestry, but I felt comfortable there. I didn't feel like I was, like, you know, unusual or anything. I felt like I belonged there. So I started going to some of the to like the Samhain things that they do there, and a few other ones. I think I went to a Yule one, and I really felt like really it was nice. The high priestess was really kind and caring and giving. She was the one that told me I'm an empath, because I was telling her how much I'm affected by being in places where there's a lot of people, and I feel like when I start to feel other people's energy, it feels like sometimes, and that's when she told me that. They have a lot of wisdom within them that they wanted to share, and I thought that was wonderful, because too many people want to guard their knowledge and don't want to spread, you know, I guess education about what is really going on within I guess the world of the witch. I'm not saying all witches are the same. I'm not saying all witches have the same intent. It's just like any person in general. You know, each person's going to have their own personality and their own way of handling situations in life. So, I hope you enjoyed my show today. I just wanted to talk to you guys about that and see what you think about that. Because for years it's been this Wicca, witchcraft, the old religion, paganism has been judged and criticized and stereotyped, and it's been hyped up in like horror movies, you know, even just regular TV shows. So I just hope that people really go out there and search out the information and really discern what's real and what's not real. Alrighty, guys. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. Thank you everybody who has subscribed to this channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the people that liked and shared this any of the videos on this channel. And thank you for your comments. I really appreciate them. For the Q&A, I see there's already questions being asked. So I might have quite a few for next Monday, so that's cool. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share if you want to. No pressure. Just was wondering if you'd like to do that, because if you do that, then you can see the upcoming stuff that I've got going on, because I'm making a lot of videos lately. Alrighty, guys. Have a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever's going on with you. And I'll see you tomorrow for Dream Talk. Peace.